Hi, I'm Marla McCowan, Director of Training, Outreach and Support with the Michigan Indigent Defense Commission. This tutorial is designed for trial court funding units in Michigan needing to revise and resubmit their FY22 compliance plan and/or cost analysis to the Michigan Indigent Defense Commission. The reason a system would need to make revisions is because the MIDC disapproved the compliance plan and/or cost analysis submitted last spring to the MIDC, either in March or April of this year. Those plans were reviewed by staff and submitted to the MIDC during a regular business meeting on June 15th, 2021. At that meeting, the commission took action on the plans and costs for all systems in Michigan. And shortly after that meeting, the commission's actions were communicated individually to all funding units through our grant management system called EGrAMS. If your FY22 compliance plan and/or cost analysis was disapproved by the MIDC, you would have received two notices. The first would have been through EGrAMS on June 21st, 2021. This was a message generated after the MIDC concluded their business agenda, and those actions were entered into our grant management system. This first notice came by email from EGrAMS, and at any time you can go into EGrAMS and locate that letter if you want more information about that action and these next steps. For those systems with any type of disapproval, you also received a letter or an official mailing. This has the same information as that letter in EGrAMS, but because the statute requires notice by official mail and subsequent due dates are calculated from that time, I put those letters in the mail at the post office. The letters contain information about the MIDC's action and outline the next steps, including the requirement to work with the commission and staff on the resubmission. The letter does not have details about the reasons for the disapproval, though. To get that information, we have a few options for you. One place to go is our website, which is www.michiganidc.gov. And you can find the published information about the MIDC's meeting, including the agenda and packet of materials reviewed by the commission. Select the meeting date under publications, then you will get more information about the meeting. The agenda and materials is a PDF document that you can open and save to your device. In that packet, the FY22 action items for the commission are summarized in a memo by me that begins at page 39. Again, all 120 contracting funding units were addressed by the MIDC at that June meeting. So scroll through until you find your system and you will get additional information about the staff's recommendations on your plan and cost analysis. The MIDC, through its action items at that June meeting, adopted the staff's recommendations as described in the summary memo. You should contact your regional manager right away. They have the most detailed information about the staff analysis and will help you with the resubmission process. And in some instances, they may even be able to send you a report of comments that they tracked in the EGrAMS system. And this will include the section and page where suggested revisions should be made. Not all regional managers made comments in EGrAMS, but all regional managers have information to share with you. If you haven't already scheduled the time to talk this through with them, please do so. The meetings are easy to schedule and in most instances will be accomplished by Zoom because MIDC staff is working remotely until at least July 12th as directed by the office's state employer. You can talk through the revisions with your regional manager, but the revisions have to be made by you through our grant management system, which is called EGrAMS. We have a web address for this application. It's linked on our website as well as on our grants page. You can see it displayed here too on this slide. Please make sure you're using the MIDC's EGrAMS program. You will know you're in the right place if you see our logo in the top right corner. Use your login credentials from earlier this spring. If you don't remember your password, you can use the reset function, assuming you remember your login name. If you don't remember your login or username, you can call me. I'm happy to help. Once you're logged in, you'll land on the welcome screen. You can click on the notifications if you want to review the letter that your funding unit received on June 21st. If you're ready to start, choose Enter Application from the drop down from the grant application drop down menu here. You'll get a notice that the resubmission window closes on August 20th, 2021 at 11:59 p.m. I'll have a little bit more information on that deadline in a few minutes, but for now, click OK. Once you click OK, you're ready to make revisions at the beginning of the application. And as you work your way through the tabs for the plan and cost analysis and make changes, you're going to see the version history indicator appear. This is helpful for a few reasons. First, it allows you to make notes of your changes. And second, it alerts MIDC staff to any changes that have been made from the time the document was returned to you until you resubmit it to the MIDC. So for example, if you need to make changes to the compliance plan, you will edit directly in the text that you previously entered. When you click save or save and move to the next page, the version button will appear. The text in the plan won't have anything obviously changed, but if you click on that version history, you can get a report that looks like track changes document like in Word. The change that I made here isn't relevant in terms of substance, but for purposes of the display in the version history, the new text saved in the application appears in this red font. And you can save these changes in a PDF document by clicking this button. The same type of version history also displays in the cost analysis if you're making any revisions to the numbers or funding requested. So work your way through these documents to edit, make changes, and save your revisions just as you did with the original submission. If your compliance plan was approved by the MIDC at that June meeting, we strongly urge you not to make any changes to any of the pages addressing the MIDC standards. If you do make changes, we'll be able to see those in the version history, and if there's substantive changes, they may require action by the Commission upon resubmission and review at the next meeting. As you review and potentially revise your cost analysis, please remember that you also have to revise 2 other pages for any of these types of changes. One area is the source of funds page, and the other area is for the project information. So after you make your changes to the cost analysis, use the index to navigate to the source of funds from this pop-out menu. Remember, you have to manually subtract the local share from the total system cost to arrive at the state funds, which you will have to revise in this green highlighted box on the source of funds page. After you save your revisions and click done, you might get an error saying that the funds do not equal the budgeted amount. This is how you know that you have to navigate back to the beginning of the document. If you get this particular error that says that the funds don't equal, make a note of your revised totals, then use the left arrow to navigate back to the beginning. So this is back to the project information page at the beginning of the application. Revise these numbers as well. Remember that the local share should be subtracted from the total system cost to arrive at the amount of funds requested. The local share is populated for you. Don't change this amount in EGrAMS. If you have any concern about the local share listed, please contact your regional manager. So after you make these revisions, you would click save and then done again. When you're done with all of your revisions, you will need to validate each section. We've noticed a feature in EGrAMS that when a funding unit is seeking additional funds or more funding than the original request, there will be a specific error that's displayed here. It says budget amount should not be greater than the requested revisions. This error can be remedied fairly quickly and easily, but you have to contact me for that purpose. All I need is the revised state funding or requested funding amount, and I'll make that change in the system, allowing you to submit the revised FY22 plan and cost analysis. A quick note though, allowing this change by me in the system is simply a means to facilitate commission review. It does not mean that the MIDC is approving the resubmitted cost analysis or requested funding. Once you have gone through, made your revisions, and corrected any errors, when you click done, you should get a message that all sections have been validated and you're ready to resubmit the application. Click OK to move forward. You're going to take the same steps that you took initially to submit. Close the application here and navigate back to the menu. Hover over the grant application drop-down menu and choose to print or submit the application. The FY22 application will be displayed as a hyperlinked document. Click on that link. You should arrive at a page with an option to submit, and when you do, you will get a message that it will be submitted and move on to the regional manager. Click OK. After you submit, you will receive an email notification generated through EGrAMS with the timestamp for your resubmission. You can always go back to your notifications to review this message. It's stored in EGrAMS for future reference, along with all other messages that you receive from the system. Please remember that the statutory deadline to resubmit is August 20th, 2021 by 11:59 p.m. through EGrAMS. This date is 60 days from June 21st, 2021, the date of that mailing, and is set pursuant to MCL 780.993, Section 4. An important note about timing. Your revisions are due no later than August 20th, but the next MIDC meeting is August 17th. If you want your resubmission to be included in that agenda, please work with your regional manager and ensure that your resubmission is received no later than July 23rd. The MIDC has 90 days from the resubmission to take action. And for anything received by July 23rd, we will work hard to prepare the review and analysis, and we will make every effort to include it on that August agenda. Otherwise, revisions will be addressed by the MIDC at the following meeting in October. We're here to help. Please talk with your regional manager because they will have timelines addressing their feedback and review process. It is possible that if you submit earlier than that August 20th or even the July 23rd date, they will be able to make some additional suggestions that you might want to incorporate into your resubmission. This is the regional manager's view as they're looking at the plans and costs. So there is a comment box where they can enter suggestions on the resubmission for both the plan as well as the cost analysis. If they do seek revisions, you will get a notification if it's sent back to you for any further suggested work. But again, work with your regional managers on timing. The last possible date for you to make and incorporate these changes and resubmit through EGrAMS will be August 20th. You will not likely get feedback from the regional managers or an opportunity to revise and resubmit again if you wait until close to that deadline to resubmit. If you do get a notice from the system that revisions are requested by the regional manager, just log into EGrAMS through the system and look for your pending tasks. When you navigate to the page to make corrections, you can jump to the application using that green arrow and follow to the hyperlink documents. Depending on the stage, these might be called different documents, but as long as you're working in that FY22 application, the CPA-22 application, you're in the right place. The easiest way to see what further revisions are requested is to navigate to the index section using the arrow buttons along the EGrAMS ribbon. A quick note here, the comments are not displayed in EGrAMS for the initial revisions. This is only going to be applicable if you make corrections, resubmit, and the regional manager requests further detail between now and August 20th. Comments are displayed in a column on that index for you to review, and you can see the location information provided by the regional manager. Click on the little note and the information will be displayed. You can also display in the index a list of the comments only to help you navigate to the requested revisions. And if you click Find, that report will isolate only the revisions to be made. These are also hyperlinks that take you to the exact place in the document. Alternatively, you can make notes or print a PDF to make the suggested changes. If there are comments on the page, you can view those by clicking on the three dots. It looks similar to the menu icon. And if you do make any changes, please remember to save as you move along in the document. This is true for both the plan as well as the cost analysis. And again, revisions to any part of the cost analysis require revisions to the source of funds page and project information page. Follow the same steps as before to locate the source of funds, revise the numbers, save, validate, and resubmit the FY22 application. On behalf of the MIDC staff, we're looking forward to working with you on your revisions and your resubmission. Please feel free to contact us anytime. We really are here to help. Our general information, email address, as well as my own email address and my cell phone number are displayed here. Thank you for your work on your FY22 compliance plan and cost analysis.